Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. This is Zach over at NV Woodworks. So today I'm going to be sharing with you one of the ways that I get a kind of a nebulous Aurora effect in resin. So stay tuned and I'll show you how I do it. All right, so nebulous Aurora effects. There's lots of ways to get this kind of effect in resin. One of the ways that I really like doing it though is a pretty simple way. It only has 2 ingredients and it's only really one color. That's all you're pouring. So I'm gonna kind of walk you through how I do it and then show you an example of preparing and casting it. I'm not gonna actually do a project, but I'm gonna show you guys examples of things that I've made blanks and even a pen that I've already finished. So for the ingredients, it's very simple. There's only 2 ingredients that you're gonna need in addition to your clear resin. You're gonna need some colorshift powder. I like the blue to purple. That's gonna give you the same kind of effects as I'm getting in these blanks. And then what I like to call starlight glitter, and that adds that little twinkle. It kind of looks like little stars in the nebulous cloud. So 2 ingredients is all you need. Let's head over to the casting area and I'll kind of walk you through making a batch of these things for pen blanks. Now, before we start mixing up some resin, I just wanted to let everybody know that I have the blue to purple color shift powder as well as the starlight glitter available for sale on my website. So there's a link on the screen here and down in the show notes if anybody wants to try it out. Now, let's get on to the casting. In my mold, I've already hot glued down some burl chunks so they're ready to rock. And what I'm going to do here is just mix up some Alumilite clear slow set until it's ready to go. You can use any resin, epoxy, polyester resin. I'm using Alumilite clear slow set in this video. Next, I'm going to add my color shift powder to the resin. I usually go for about an 1/8 teaspoon per 200 grams of resin for pen blanks specifically. I usually go for less if I'm making a bigger blank like stoppers or like a box blank sphere. The more of the color shift powder that you add, the more kind of cloudy it's going to get and you're not going to be able to see as much inside. The more powder you add, the more effects with the color you're going to get, but like I said, you lose some visibility. So I don't add as much for the larger blanks like stoppers or spheres or something that's going to be a thicker piece in the end. It just doesn't need it as much. For things that are going to be turned down really thin like pen blanks though, I'm going to add a little bit more. But that's just kind of a guideline, and definitely I would recommend just kind of trying some different things out to get the best results for your projects. Next, I'm going to add my starlight glitter to the mix, and I find that less is more in this case. You don't really need a very big scoop because the particles are pretty small in the first place, and it kind of goes better having less in the nebulous cloud of stuff, having just a few little twinkles, I find, than having more. But again, it's up to you, whatever effects you want to get, but you don't really need to use a lot of this stuff. Now that we've got everything mixed up, I actually set the cup aside and wait till the end of the working time once the resin starts thickening up to pour it into the mold. Once that happens, once it's ready, it's thickened up a little bit, I pour it into the mold, and then the last thing that I do is actually give it just a quick swirl with the mixing stick, and I find that it just kind of mixes up those powders just a little bit and adds a little bit of interest to the blanks. It just kind of swirls those things up and changes it so it's not just kind of one solid layer of powder. Adds a little bit of interest, and I've been finding that it gets really good results. So that's about it. 2 ingredients and you're good to go. It's pretty simple. Maybe add a little swirl at the end. I've been having a blast with this stuff, and you can get lots of different effects depending on what you do with it. So one thing I wanted to mention again is the color shift powder, the colors are really going to pop out having something darker behind it. And this pen really illustrates it. What I did here, this looked like one of these blanks that we made today. It was just the color shift powder and the glitter with some burl chunks. And what I did was, after drilling out the blank, I back painted the blank itself, inside the blank, black, then turned the pen, and what I got was I mean, it looks like the night sky with, you know, like the Milky Way in the night sky on a clear night. And it's a really cool effect. I really love this pen. But if you leave it clear, you can get different effects that almost look a little bit more like an Aurora Borealis, I would say. So lots of different ways that you can play with this stuff. I hope you guys try it out. I also wanted to ask and leave down in the comments, what do you guys do to get kind of nebulous effects? Do you have any cool tricks that you'd be willing to share? Leave those down in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys do. It's always fun to kind of share the knowledge. So leave those down in the comments below. If this is your first time on my channel, we do all kinds of resin casting projects, tips and tricks, and experiments around here. So hit that subscribe button if you're interested in that, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get notified when new videos get posted. Also, if you're thinking about getting into resin casting, but you're not really sure where to begin, check out my ebook, The Beginner's Guide to Resin Casting. It answers all those beginner questions like, what do I need to get started? What resin should I use? That kind of stuff. It'll get you over that initial learning curve so you can get into the shop and start making some castings on your own. So I guess until next time, guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.